Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, March the 31st, the year is 2023. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap up and the monthly wrap up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Ira's. I've got Ira on the line today. Um, he's going to
Hi there,
probably
fellow traders.
Yeah, he's gonna probably ask me a few questions, and if you've been watching, he's been posting over on Facebook. So we're ending the month, and I hope that all you traders have used risk management, and you haven't lost any more in any one trade than you were willing to lose. So for the month, right now we're 365 pips above the open, 37 off the high, 583 off of the low. For the week, all the gaps have filled, and we are 164 pips off of that weekly open. You can see we broke out of last week's high. We're also way above the opening range for the week. In fact, we're 95 pips above it at the moment. And for the year, we're 298 pips above the yearly open. We are 60 off the high and 585 off the low. Inside bar traders, notice we broke out of that inside bar on the monthly at 1.2400 on the pound, and there's lots of inside bar, or at least a handful of inside bar trades to be had on the daily and on the monthly. You can see there's a lot of inside bar action happening there. For the range, we're only at 70 pips on the pound a day. We had red news, but we've only got about 8 pairs, 7 or 8 pairs with a range of 100 or more. And that's really interesting that such a low ranging day here. On this particular broker, the open's at 85. On the other one that I was trading on, the open was at 81. So broker dependent. Ira, what's your daily open on your broker right now?
What's my open? I'm not sure.
Daily open.
I know. Yeah, I know I'm 70. Let's see. The open, the close is close minus open. 4 pips, close to 4 pips. I'm 4 pips above the.
No, but look on a daily
Open.
chart and just say what's the open,
Oh yeah,
the open
yeah, yeah.
price.
Right. Let me do that.
I'm just
I'm on a
curious.
daily chart. Yeah, and it is. About 92, 93.
Okay,
Thank you.
so let's see. We're looking at the rat zone here now. In fact, there was a trader that asked me about having the rat zone for instead of just at the day. There's an indicator. I think it's called TRO buy zone every hour or something like that. And I think maybe also maybe there was the TRO buy zone for dummies indicator I'd put out. A couple of those indicators, you can definitely set the time for the buy zone, or you can also use TRO HL5 if you put it on a 1 hour chart and use that. And also in TRO HL5, you can actually pick the time that you want to, to have a horizontal line on the chart at that closing price or open price or all of them. So take a look at those indicators, but there's no need to modify the original buy zone. And the rat zone, you can see green rats have feasted a couple of times here. Okay, you can see the Bambino flex indicator said to go long. Price near pivot is a long, and we crossed the pivot at 123.57. And it says near R1's a short, and you see when it hit R1, it pulled back. So looks like those plans worked out well. As I've just mentioned, we took out that daily pivot. We've taken out the weekly, and we've taken out the monthly. So for the month of March, so far we've got 3 missed pivots this year. And we just broke out of the upper wick zone here on this particular broker. I think on my other one, I think I called it at 96, didn't I, Ira?
Something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we broke on this one, it's at 92. So that's why I always say trade what you see. You can't rely on what somebody else is seeing because there's too many variables. And speaking about, we broke out of the week high at 123.42.9, which was in the launch pad, as I like to call it. So the range so far this week is 204 pips, but we have a chance of extending that for the rest of the day. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. 33 percentile. High minus previous weekly high here is 80. We didn't break out of the low, so we're going to have on the state, we're going to have a higher high, higher low. High minus close at the moment is 26, and close minus low is 179.
Avery, where are you with the state change indicators? That's something you'll be rolling out to the donational.
Yeah,
Folks?
either in April or in May, because I've also got I've updated the frequency distribution indicator, so I have to decide which one I want to send out. Because the thing is, I can write indicators literally in minutes. Because most of them are copy paste, and I just have to put in the new work routine, the new calculations. But pretty much everything else is the same. But to document it, it can take me a little bit longer because I got to make charts, like update the PDF. And then I have to, write the documentation, proofread it, fix it about 2 or 3 times, and then send it out. And hopefully there's no stupid mistakes in it. Okay, looking at the price action simple, you see we came across that daily high, 2.4 pips, 2.2. Now it's dropping back. And we had the previous H1 high there at 95.8. It broke out of that. And looking at the higher high, higher low, you can see we put in a new 3 ball at the 97 just now. So price is pulling off of that. And once again, so long as this candle here stays bullish, you don't want to short. If it goes bearish and closes bearish, then you could probably think about shorting. Reason being is it just seems like if this closes bullish, there's usually some ranging. Now, of course, when there's a news event, almost all bets are off. But that's just my observation. You can see here what I'm talking about. How right there it closed, but then there's a little bit of range, but then the short was on.
What time frame are you on, Avery?
I'm looking at a 5-minute right here.
Yeah. So right now it's my turn red.
Yeah.
It's sitting there.
Yeah, it's sitting at that 91 level. Remember, I shorted that a couple times today. And let's see. Let's take a look here at the month. 620 pip range so far this month. And if we take a look at the year-to-date accumulated, you can see we're 645. So we've pushed the yearly range. And, I just had an idea. I wonder if I could do that and make all these values. If I made those buttons on the chart, then you wouldn't have to do this. I might have to work on that. So let's look at the ATR for the month. 658 is the ATR. And if we look at the ATR percent, you can see we're at 94% of ATR, so that's not too bad. So we're right within that range. And from the yearly open, close minus open percent, you can see price is up 2.5%. So, Ira, you had mentioned a few things out there on the Facebook. I'm kind of curious. Was there some questions that you wanted to ask? That maybe some of the other traders might benefit. We've got
Well, I've
about
been,
3 minutes or so.
I've been focused on the flip flop trade on the M1 chart, and I guess, looking at the IND2 dots. Does it matter if they're sort of, they're in the same color, everything else is sitting right for along? Does it matter if they're horizontal with each other, or do you want to see one above the other? Does that matter?
Well, usually the dots, in fact, there was one of my indicators, it's the multimeters, it tells you the actual slope. Um, Usually they're going to, if they're magenta dots, they're going to be sloping down. If they're aqua dots, they're going to be sloping up. But if you look at, you're looking at M5 right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you look at M5, you've got the aqua dots, and they're pretty much sloping to the upside. But if you drop down to M1, you can see how the dots were kind of all accumulated. And there goes that break through the 91.
Yeah, yeah. So on the M1, there was just the flip flop trade.
Actually, on the M1, yeah, that could have been a flip flop trade. Right
But
around 91.
yeah, there's only one IND. There's only one dot of the right color, only one red.
Right. Yeah. So that
And it
wouldn't have
hasn't
been a
closed yet.
flip flop trade with the dots. That would have just been a flip flop trade by itself. Um, and so sometimes you can use
Without
the
the dots.
yeah. Sometimes we sometimes add in. So the dots are basically a directional bias. Aqua means the aqua dots means you want to look long. The magenta dots you want to look short. And usually,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
so let me ask you this, Avery. We just got a new flip flop box, and now we have a closed red dot and an open red dot. And when you look to the left, do you see anything that would cause you to hesitate taking this flip flop south?
Yeah, I wouldn't because usually, like, you got a three ball at the top, then you got a flip flop box. You want to take the first trade nearest that semaphore, otherwise, you're giving up too much. And plus, we've got another semaphore at the bottom. So, fellow traders, I hope that helps. I hope you had a profitable week and month. And I'm going to wish you a fun and safe weekend. And when you come back to trade, always remember and never forget it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.